Let's talk about conjunctions. We're going to talk about two different types, coordinating and correlative. So coordinating conjunctions and correlative conjunctions, what they do is they take two phrases of the same category. So we can say like it's an XP, which means it's some phrase, but they're the same. And it combines them together into a larger phrase of the same type. So if I want to say happy and sad, that's an adjective phrase that has two smaller adjective phrases in it. So there's only 7 coordinating conjunctions in English. It's for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. You can remember this with fanboys, and we can see some examples here. You should get my autograph. This is a sentence. For, I will be famous. That's another sentence. No mission to Pluto has happened, nor will it ever. So actually what's being coordinated here has happened, which is a VP, or will it ever. Chicken or bacon, noun phrase or noun phrase, and children are loud, so I brought muzzles, sentence and sentence. So these are how we're doing some coordinations here. So in terms of the tree structure, you might see him and her. So him is a noun phrase, her is a noun phrase, and what this coordinating conjunction is doing is it's taking those two noun phrases and combining them into one that is bigger. So same thing with cute but deadly. These are both adjective phrases and they're being combined to create a bigger adjective phrase. Now we can do this with the full sentences as well. So this puppy is cute, but I don't want it. So this puppy is cute is a sentence on its own. I don't want it is a sentence on its own. So we can take these two sentences and coordinate them with a coordinating conjunction. So this is how they will all look, and this is an example of what is called a compound sentence. Now, correlative conjunctions are pretty similar. They just have two parts. So this is when you have and, nor, or, basically your coordinating conjunctions, but you have that intro word. So either or, neither nor, both and. So they look pretty similar. We label these as choral, but the same thing is happening. We take the choral and adjective phrase. Now let me just get the right ones here. So we take these and we're basically combining two of the same things into one larger thing, but it just has another supporting word with it. We have a few word categories to clean up that we haven't talked about yet because these are words that don't usually appear within the structure of the sentence. So they don't carry grammatical meaning, they carry some conversational meaning. The first one is a reaction signal, or RS, and this is just a response, like a yes or no response. So yes, no, sure, okie dokie, nah, things like that. So can you get me one of them fancy Starbucks drinkachinos? Yep, I can get one. Yep, reaction signal. Those dank memes are sick, aren't they, bruh? Word, bet. I guess that's what we'd say now. We'd say bet. We wouldn't say word anymore. So this is an example of a reaction signal. Interjections cover two things. They cover interruptions into conversations. So these expressive words like oof, wow, damn, yikes. But it also covers greetings or these standard short phrases that don't really, have compositional meaning. Like if you say good morning, you're not really trying to say that the morning is good, you're expressing something else. So hello, good afternoon, and thanks. Call these interj. And finally, discourse particles. This seems a lot like interjections, but you don't express emotion and you're not trying to give a greeting. You're not trying to, make that greeting feeling, that friendly feeling. This is just a conversation structure. So this might be connecting ideas or hesitation noises or just words that don't really contribute meaning. So, well, I'm not sure about that. We could get the meaning across just by saying, I'm not sure about that. So how do we get there? Like, what's up, doc? I mean, what else could go wrong? Basically, y'all are nuts. Like, these words at the beginning are just discourse particles. They're just there for conversational purposes. They don't really change the meaning or the structure of the sentence itself. The last thing we want to do in this section is just touch up some things from the previous sections that don't really fit anywhere else nicely without being too overloading. The first thing we want to do is add a new function, the object of preposition. So whenever we have a noun phrase, that comes immediately after a preposition, we're going to give this function. And that's because the preposition requires a noun phrase after. So we want to signal that requirement as a function. So whether it's into the ocean or right around the corner is the object of the preposition here, so we will label it as such. The second thing is to add modifiers. So whenever we have a word or phrase, typically the phrase, so the sisters of the head, that describe more information about the word. So these are not determiners, they're not pronouns, they're not subjects, they're not predicates. We'll label them as modifiers. So in right around my house, right is a modifier, it's a qualifier. This would be the same in any adjective phrase or adverb phrase. Those qualifiers will be modifiers. In the case of this noun phrase, my two new pianos from Walmart, in this case, to is a modifier. The adjective phrase new is a modifier. And from Walmart is a modifier because they're all describing the pianos. And then we'll see within that prepositional phrase, that noun phrase is the object of a preposition. So that's from that previous slide there. So in the end, a lot of our phrases will have both categories and functions. A lot of the actual categories themselves, so like these things, adjective, noun, preposition that come directly underneath the phrase, a lot of these will not have functions in the end. So just to make sure that we've learned everything in this section, here's the conclusion for the goal we had at the beginning. Has the one friend that I had in the world promised me something? This is, so has the one friend that I had in the world promised me something? So here's our main verb chain, has promised. So the one friend that I had in the world has promised me something. So that's our chain. We see that we have past tense on, sorry, not past tense. We have third person singular on has, which means that we're going to get the past participle because this is also perfect have on promised. We get past tense on had here too. Now, there are no other inflections, but this has here is present tense. So obviously based on the third person singular fact here, it's going to be present tense. And this is a question, so its mood is interrogative. Now, to make sure you understand all the categories and labels that we have, I also want you to try to draw a tree structure for this sentence. The professor's new student in my class had not missed me or you. So pause the video, try it yourself. And now let's take a stab at this. So this one might get a little bit cluttered. I'll try to use a thinner line. So first I'm going to label all of these words. So the is a definite determiner. Professors is going to be a noun. New will be an adjective. Student will be a noun. In is a preposition. My is going to be a possessive determiner. Class will be a noun. Had not missed me or you. So had here is going to be a perfect have because it's had missed. Not is a negation. Missed is going to be our verb. Then we have me or you. So this is a personal pronoun. You is also another personal pronoun. And then or is the thing that's coordinating them. So this is going to be a coordinating conjunction. So we've now labeled all of our words. Let's now look at a structure for this. So I'm going to start on the right. So me or you. Me is a noun phrase. You is a noun phrase. Coordinating conjunctions take two phrases of the same type and combine them to a bigger one. Now we have had not missed me or you. So missing, that's a verb phrase that takes a noun phrase as a complement. So this is not a modifier in this case. We'll explain this more in the next section. The negation builds up into a negation phrase. I'm going to take the verb phrase. The perfect is going to build up into a perfect phrase and take the negation phrase as a complement. So had not missed me or you is starting our predicate. So we're going to label this as the predicate as well. So this is going to be an S. So now we have the professor's new student in my class. So my class is a noun phrase, and it's going to join up with the preposition to make a prepositional phrase. So this noun phrase is an object of a preposition. Now, this is describing the professor's new student. So new student, this NP, this is really going to be the subject. Student is the main word that we're looking at. It is a student that is in my class. It is a new student. So this is an adjp, and it's specifically the professor's new student. So let's just make sure everything's good so far. Well, in my class is describing the student, so this is a modifier. New is describing the student, so this is also a modifier. And the professors. So this is a possessor. So this is going to be a noun phrase itself and get the genitive function because it's possessing the student. So that's also going attached to the NP subject there. And now we have the full tree for this sentence. So if we think about the mood of this, it is going to be indicative and based on the tense in the beginning of our main verb line there, it is also going to be a past tense sentence.